was raised directly behind this church. There used to be a neighborhood behind the church called Graham's Alley. I used to ring the church bell here in this church as a child.
It's way over here.
And I used to play in the yard behind this church. This, for all the time that the Hill has existed, it's always been a place where I guess you could say the downtrodden or the people who couldn't afford to go other places could always come. And it's even that way to this day. When you say, the Hill, it even has like a biblical term, that place on the hill. Everybody wants to go to that place on the hill. On the hill is where you find your refuge, your peace, and your strength. Even right down to this day, this place still serves as a community where the downtrodden and people that aren't accepted in other places can still come. Like now, it's still inhabited by African Americans, and we even have the Latino community have moved in. And this church now is shared by the same African American community, and there's a Hispanic congregation here. So the church has two pastors now. It has Pastor D'Artagnan Hines, which all of you have met, who's sitting up behind the pulpit, and also has a Mexican pastor. And then the two kids married each other.
The former pastor's son married the daughter of the Latino pastor. And so the families have united.
Wow. So this is what goes on the Hill, and it's been this way for hundreds of years. People come to the Hill, and the Hill becomes a family. And this is a place where people come, like I said, the downtrodden, the people who say who can't afford to go over there and get the nice big gated community house over there by the hospital. I remember as a kid, I remember in the row houses that were back here. I remember when the rent was $100 a month.
Wow. Tell it now.
I remember when the rent was $100 a month, and those houses did not have their own heating source. You knew what time you was to get to school by the smell of Maxwell House and Cool Miles, and you heard your grandmother open that oven door and light that oven to heat the house. Because there was no thermostat on the wall. Y'all got it easy. And then we go to your grandmother's house, and there was no indoor plumbing.
Amen.
You had to go outside to the outhouse, needed some water, you had to go prime the pump. No, that was here.
I know, but I did it.
So,
and this is where we both live. So I lived over here growing up as a child, but the house is no longer there. But it is, the telephone pole probably is still up, it's back some. It's still up where the house used to sit at. And then Terrence lived through the alley.
And her mother's dog used to chase me every time I came through here.
And the alley goes from here to the next street over, which is Kelly Gerson Street, which some of you might know is a WNBA retired player. No, she no longer plays, but she's a WNBA player from Eastern Maryland. That used to live on Graham Street from the Hill.
You see her nose flat like that? I'm the one that broke her nose when I got it wasn't abuse. She wanted to play with the big boys. And here's something else. When you go over there on this, when we talk about the Hill, a lot of people don't agree with this, but when you go over there on South Street, stand there and look directly down the street. You'll see that it goes on a downslope. And then when you go down, when you go to Washington Street and you go over to Port Street, that goes on a downslope all the way down to the pier where Frederick Douglass came into town where he got the boat at. So this is actually the highest point in Easton. So even though we were poor, the rich folk had to look up to see us.